I freeze in the doorway to my backyard. My breath catches somewhere between my lungs and my throat. For a moment, I wonder if the Texas sun has finally fried my brain. But no, that is definitely my work laptop floating face down in the crystal blue water of the pool, sinking slowly toward the bottom like a $5,200 brick of ruined client files, security reports, and 3 weeks of billable hours. Still not going to approve that special assessment. Lauren? Patty's voice slides across the patio, smooth as the silk scarf around her neck, but sharp enough to draw blood. The HOA president of Whispering Pines leans against the deck railing, arms crossed, lips curved in the kind of satisfied smirk that makes your stomach clench. She looks exactly like what she is, a woman who just exacted revenge in broad daylight. What did you do? The words barely escape my mouth. What you made me do. Patty answers, running a hand through her perfectly styled blonde helmet. When a neighborhood asks for help, the neighborhood helps. Isn't that what the covenants always say? 1 week. That's how long it's been since I refused to cough up the extra $2,500 emergency community beautification assessment for Patty's latest can't-miss scheme. Some revolutionary wellness product line she swore would make every homeowner glow with HOA pride. The same promise I'd heard with her custom flagpole ordinance, her organic lawn mandate, and the overpriced HOA-branded patio furniture she tried to ram through last year. I think about the board meeting last night, my phone lighting up with Patty's passive-aggressive emails while I tried to close a 6-figure cybersecurity contract. The way she showed up at my door anyway, clipboard in hand, demanding just a quick signature in front of my nervous clients. You're being dramatic again. Lauren, the vice president, Mrs. Ellis, had sighed when I complained later on the neighborhood app. President Hargrove needs our support. She's always been more community-minded than you. It's the Whispering Pines pattern. Patty gets her way. Everyone else understands. Patty makes mistakes. Everyone else forgives. I take a deep breath and walk to the pool, feeling Patty's eyes burning holes in my back. Without a word, I roll up my sleeve and reach in, pulling the dripping wreck out of the water. Streams pour from the keyboard like tears the laptop itself is crying. What's going on out here? The treasurer's voice booms from the side gate. Mr. and Mrs. Ellis appear, taking in the scene with the same confused, slightly annoyed expressions they always were when Patty is involved. Patty's face transforms instantly. The smirk vanishes. Wide eyes, trembling lower lip. It was an accident. I tripped on the hose while doing my inspection round. I feel terrible. Lauren, you know I'd never. It's just a laptop. The treasurer cuts in, tone already impatient. Don't make this into something it's not. I look down at the ruined machine in my hands. Water drips onto my shoes, making dark spots on the concrete that look suspiciously like evidence. My hand should be shaking with rage, but they're steady. Something clicks inside me, like a deadbolt turning. Mrs. Ellis is already moving toward Patty, arm sliding around her shoulders. Are you okay, dear? Did you hurt yourself when you fell? Patty leans into the embrace, eyes finding mine over Mrs. Ellis's shoulder. No apology there, just cold calculation. She thinks she's won. The treasurer reaches for his wallet. We'll replace it. Lauren, though really, you should be more careful where you leave your things. I watch the familiar scene unfold, the board comforting Patty while she plays victim. This laptop isn't just equipment. It's my reputation, my client data, the trust I've spent years building as a cybersecurity consultant, all deliberately destroyed because I wouldn't rubber stamp another one of Patty's cash grabs. No, I say quietly, voice steadier than it's ever been on this street. I don't think you will. The treasurer frowns, confused by my refusal. Mrs. Ellis glances over, still patting Patty's back. What's that, dear? I look at them, really look, And for the first time, I see with perfect clarity what I've always known but never fully accepted. In Whispering Pines, they will always choose Patty. They will always excuse her. They will always expect the rest of us to do the same. Not anymore. Nothing, I say, turning toward the house with my dripping laptop. Nothing at all. Next morning, the alert chimes on my phone at 6:17 a.m. I'm already awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying yesterday's pool scene on loop. When I check the notification, my stomach drops through the floor. Attempted transfer, $8,200 to an account ending in 4732. I recognize the number instantly. It's Patty's personal community fund account, the same one she'd scribbled on the back of a covenant violation notice and slid across my kitchen table with that expectant smile. The one I'd refused to fund. My coffee cup slips from my hand, shattering on the tile. Brown liquid spreads like spilled evidence. But I barely notice as I frantically open my banking app. The transfer is marked pending review, suspicious activity. A small mercy. The phone rings. Fraud department. Miss Hayes, we flagged an unusual transaction. Did you authorize an $8,200 transfer this morning? No, I whisper. I absolutely did not. The rep's voice turns clinical. We'll cancel your cards immediately. There's been a series of attempts. A series? My voice cracks. Yes, fourth attempt since midnight. Smaller amounts first. Testing the limits. After hanging up, I open my personal laptop, not the drown work one, and start checking accounts. What I find turns my blood to ice. Somehow Patty has added herself as an authorized user on my primary credit card. Pending charges at high-end boutiques, electronic stores, even a day spa whose HOA discount I never applied for. The realization hits like a physical blow. Patty didn't just destroy my laptop out of spite. She copied every file first during her so-called inspection. The drowning was cover-up, not the crime. Later, that morning, the doorbell rings. Courier with a replacement card I never requested, sent to my address but with Patty's name embossed beneath mine. I sink onto the couch, surrounded by digital proof of invasion. My phone pings nonstop with password reset notifications across email. Cloud storage. Investment portfolio. Patty is systematically trying to lock me out of my own life. My LinkedIn profile now lists me as silent partner in Patty's Glow Wellness venture, the exact community project I refuse to fund. My profile picture has been edited. We're standing side by side smiling. The original photo never had both of us. On the kitchen counter, my phone lights up with a voicemail. Mrs. Ellis's voice fills the room. Lauren, Patty says you're being difficult about the laptop accident. Why can't you just let it go? You know the president has always carried more for the neighborhood. I close my eyes, breathing through the wave of betrayal. This isn't Patty being Patty anymore. This isn't her finding me $150 for my flag being up an extra day after the 4th. This is criminal. She's stolen my identity, forged documents, attempted bank fraud. Opening my email, I find a message sent from my account to my biggest client, canceling our contract with immediate effect. Timestamp shows it went out last night while I slept. The damage spreads in days. Clients who trusted me with their security now question my competence. How could a cybersecurity consultant let this happen? 2 cancellations already. Apologetic but firm, citing security concerns. The financial hit is staggering. Patty now has eyes on accounts I built since college, emergency fund, investments, retirement. Beyond money, the betrayal burns. I've helped organize block parties, cover neighborhood watch shifts, even fixed her Wi-Fi when she couldn't possibly understand technology. And she weaponized it all. On Wednesday, the bank security team calls. We've blocked the transfer and placed a fraud alert. The attempts originated from an IP address tied to the HOA office network. Small victory. As I change every password and freeze my credit, I wonder, Confront Patty directly or quietly build an airtight case. The immediate satisfaction of screaming at her tempts me, but patience might bury her deeper. When facing a bully who's never faced consequences, is it better to strike fast or build a cage she can't escape? I stare at my phone. Patty's contact glowing. My finger hovers over call. A week later, an email notification chimes while I'm reviewing client protocols. Sender, Blake Reynolds, CEO of my largest account. Lauren, can we discuss this partnership arrangement with President Hargrove's wellness venture? I was under the impression our contract had exclusivity clauses. My stomach drops. I open the attachment, Patty's professionally designed investment proposal listing me as financial guarantor and silent partner. Within the hour, 3 more clients call. Each conversation, the same bewildering script. Confusion about a venture I supposedly joined. Questions about my commitment to their security. With every explanation, my voice grows steadier. Colder. I'm sorry for the confusion. The president has distributed fraudulent information. I'm addressing it immediately. The calls haven't stopped when my phone lights up with Mrs. Ellis's name. We're having an emergency board meeting tonight about your behavior. She announces, this persecution of President Hargrove over a little accident has gone too far. Accident? The word tastes like battery acid. She admitted to destroying my laptop deliberately. That's not how she remembers it. Mrs. Ellis says, voice dripping dismissal. Your neighbors agree you're being unreasonable. Everyone's concerned how you're treating the president when she's working so hard for the community. Before I can answer, another email lands. Subject, apology to Reynolds Group from Lauren Hayes. Patty has started sending messages in my name. I hang up mid-sentence. Next morning, I discover she's accessed my personal cloud. She's taken Cancun vacation photos, the one luxury trip I allowed myself in 3 years, and posted them in the neighborhood Facebook group with captions suggesting I'm flaunting wealth while refusing to support the community. Timestamp, 3:42 a.m. Yesterday. Sleep becomes a luxury I can't afford. Each night, I jolt awake checking alerts. During the day, I spend hours on calls repairing relationships. Your HOA president sounds like a real piece of work. My colleague Thomas says after I detail everything. His blunt assessment is refreshing after the board's willful blindness. Mrs. Ellis leaves 2 voicemails reminding me about Sunday's community potluck. President Hargrove feels terrible about this misunderstanding. You need to come and work it out like neighbors. I decline. Instead, I spend the weekend methodically documenting every unauthorized access, every forged email, every attempt to tank my reputation. Secure folders fill with timestamps, screenshots, bank records, evidence that can't be waved away as just HOA drama. Monday afternoon, an unfamiliar number rings. Lauren, it's Mitchell Caldwell, Vice President at Texas Capital Investments. We've met at a few board functions. I received President Hargrove's proposal with your name attached as guarantor. Something fell off. She's pitching every major investor in Austin. His words land like an unexpected gift. Someone seeing through the nonsense without me prompting. Thank you, I say, and mean it. That evening, Mrs. Ellis video calls. Why are you making the president's life so hard? She made a mistake with your laptop, but you're destroying her chances at this wonderful community project. I watch her face, the same disappointed expression I've seen 100 times when anyone questions Patty. I'm tired, I say quietly. Lauren Hayes, don't you dare hang up on the board. I press in for the first time ever. The silence feels like stepping into sunlight after years in a dim room. My phone immediately rings again, but a new email catches my eye. Mitchell forwarding Patty's complete pitch deck. Slide 3 features my name prominently as silent partner and $85,000 financial guarantor. A text from Thomas. I've drafted a clarifying email to the entire industry. Just say the word. My old mentor Rebecca calls with practical advice. Document everything. What she's doing crosses multiple lines in Texas identity theft statutes. The contrast is brutal. My professional network believes the evidence. The board clings to emotional narratives that protect Patty at all costs. Next morning, I contact a lawyer specializing in fraud and identity theft. Based on what you've described, you have grounds for serious action. She tells me. The forged communications alone add liability. What Patty doesn't know, what the board never bothered to learn, is that my work laptop ran advanced security logging. Every access attempt, every file copy, every keystroke was captured before it hit the water. The evidence isn't circumstantial. It's ironclad. As my phone shows 14 missed calls from board members. I open my email and begin drafting the cease and desist. The anger that's been building doesn't explode. It crystallizes into something harder, clearer, infinitely more powerful. A week later, I wake before dawn, mind cycling through every piece of the plan. Patty's digital fingerprints are everywhere. And today, I make them visible to everyone who matters. My lawyer's cease and desist sits ready, itemizing 17 separate violations, the bank transfer attempts, credit card fraud, forged client emails, the laptop destruction that started it all, each backed by timestamps, screenshots, security logs Patty never knew existed. Are you certain? My lawyer had asked. HOA situations can get messy. Family complications became criminal the moment she committed identity theft. I replied. I press send, copying Patty, the entire board, and her business partner. The email leaves with a soft whoosh that feels like the first real breath I've taken in weeks. Next comes the professional correction, a calm, fact-only email to every investor, client, and contact in my network. I am not involved with President Hargrove's venture. Any documents suggesting otherwise were created without my knowledge or consent. By 7:30 a.m., responses flood in. Mitchell already contacted 3 investors. They withdrawn. Ipukofi, hand steady, and compile the final evidence package. Highlighted bank statements, forged credit apps, timestamp security logs showing Patty copying files before the accident. My phone explodes. Patty's text cascade like digital hail. How dare you send that letter? I'm the president. You're destroying everything I've worked for. You're overreacting about the stupid laptop. It was just sitting there by the pool. I screenshot every message, especially the last one, her inadvertent admission that the drowning was deliberate. The treasurer calls next. This is completely unnecessary. Lauren, the board is upset. President Hargrove is devastated. Did you read the documentation I attached? I asked calmly. Yes, but these are just misunderstandings that could be resolved without. So you've seen the evidence of identity theft and fraud. I say, noting the admission for later. And you still think I'm overreacting? Silence stretches. You need to retract that legal notice. Neighborhood matters should stay in the neighborhood. This stopped being just neighborhood drama when she committed crimes. After he hangs up my bank alert pings, another access attempt from the HOA office IP. More evidence. An email arrives from Patty's business partner. After reviewing your evidence, I'm withdrawing effective immediately. Every desperate move Patty makes only strengthens my case. Mitchell calls again that afternoon. She's approaching every investor in Austin now that her original backers are gone. While I consider my next step, my support network builds a wall. My lawyer files with the credit bureaus. Colleagues post endorsements on industry platforms. Mitchell quietly warns other firms. Thomas sends a company-wide email renewing our contract with expanded services. By evening, the impact is undeniable. Patty's venture collapses. Partnerships dissolve. The board vice president leaves a voicemail. Tone noticeably different. Lauren, honey, I think we may have misunderstood some things. Can we talk? The treasurer texts. We should meet to discuss rationally. There are perspectives you might not have considered. Final message from the board at midnight. President Hargrove has been asked to step down pending review. We've reviewed everything. We need to talk. I stand at my window looking out at the glowing streetlights of Whispering Pines. For the first time since the laptop hit the water, the knot in my chest loosens. Not because I wanted Patty ruined, but because actions finally have consequences, even for the queen of the HOA. Next day, 3 tentative knocks sound at my door. I check the peephole first, old habit now. Patty stands in the hallway, shoulders hunched, clutching a shoebox to her chest. When I open the door, her eyes are red-rimmed, tear tracks visible. The sight would have melted me a month ago. "Lauren, please," she says, voice catching. "Can we talk?" I step aside silently. She glances around my apartment as if hunting for evidence, places the shoebox on my coffee table, removes the lid, childhood photos from neighborhood block parties, HOA holiday cards we once exchanged. "Remember this? We were neighbors once." I don't touch the box. "What do you want?" "Patty, I came to apologize." She draws a shaky breath. "The laptop, I shouldn't have done that." "Just a laptop? We're neighbors." "Lauren, that means something." "It has to." I wait. She fidgets with a frayed photo. "I've been thinking, if you withdraw those communications to the investors, I can pay you back what I can afford. We can work something out." "That's your compromise?" "The board is heartbroken you chose your job over the community." Her voice hardens. "Things could get difficult for everyone if you keep pushing this." I reach for my phone, tap play, and set on the table. Her own voice fills the room. "What you made me do." When the neighborhood asks for help, the recording continues with her admission about the laptop. Her face drains of color. "You recorded me?" I pull the evidence folder from my desk and slide it beside the phone. Bank attempts, forged signatures, timestamp logs. "I signed a new international contract yesterday." I say, "Double the rate." My reputation recovered nicely once I explained I was the victim of identity theft. "Identity theft?" She laughs nervously. "That's dramatic even for you." "The police don't think so." I slide the formal report across. "Whether I press charges is still undecided." "You wouldn't." "I'm not choosing my job over the neighborhood." "Patty, I'm choosing myself over enabling you." Her laugh holds no humor. Always so self-righteous. "You think a few printouts corner me?" I push the folder until it touches her fingertips. "Copies are filed with my lawyer, the police, and the credit bureaus." "You're bluffing." "You know I'm not." Patty stands abruptly, pacing. "This isn't fair. One mistake with your stupid laptop, and you're ready to destroy my life. You try to steal my identity. You forged my signature. You impersonated me to my clients. These aren't mistakes. Patty, they're choices. The board will never forgive you for this." "I'm not looking for forgiveness." "Please, Lauren, if this gets out, I'll never recover. No one will trust anything I do again. Actions have consequences. It was just a laptop." I stand too. "I've spent years watching you break rules and walk away. Not this time." Patty grabs her purse, abandoning the memories. The door closes behind her with a quiet click. That evening, the treasurer texts, "President Hargrove moved her things out this afternoon. The board has reviewed everything. We need to talk." Minutes later, Mitchell calls. Word spreading, no investor in Austin will touch anything with her name now. 6 months later, I adjust my webcam. 8 faces from 3 countries wait for my direction. A notification slides in, client report approved. I allow myself a small smile. The vulnerability assessment flagged 3 critical points. I say, pointing to highlighted sections. "I recommend the protocol we discussed." The lead developer nods. "We trust your judgment." Lauren, trust. A word that now carries the weight of my rebuilt reputation. My phone stays silent during meetings, boundaries I never set before. My calendar reminder glows. Cybersecurity conference keynote. Identity protection in HOA fraud cases. When a meeting ends, I walk to the kitchen for coffee. Mother, wait. Mrs. Ellis calls. 6 months ago, I would have answered with racing anxiety. Today, I calmly decline. No guilt, just quiet certainty that my time is mine. Later, I listen to her voicemail. Lauren, I was wondering if you might have time for coffee next week. Just the two of us. Call when you can. I text back. Available Tuesday at 2 p.m. Bluestone Cafe. 45 minutes only. Client meeting after. Boundaries. Clearly marked. Invitation accepted on my terms. That evening, Mitchell raises his glass at dinner. To the new contract. To friends who see clearly when the neighborhood can't. I reply, clicking with everyone. Heard anything about Patty? Thomas asks. Mitchell sets down his fork. Colleague in Phoenix says she's trying to start fresh. Seems she's finally taking some responsibility. I nod, surprised to feel only mild curiosity. 2 weeks later, at the conference, the desk clerk smiles. Miss Hayes, several attendees have asked when you're arriving. Your keynote is generating buzz. In the elevator, my phone chimes. An email from a publishing company interested in my guide on personal security and boundary protection. The mirrored wall shows my reflection, shoulders back, gaze steady, no looking back. My phone buzzes with Mrs. Ellis confirming coffee. I reply simply, see you then. As I prepare my keynote on protecting digital boundaries, I wonder if controlled reconnection is possible or if distance is still wiser. The woman in the mirror looks back, eyes clear and knowing. Whatever I decide, the choice is finally, completely mine.